Alright, what is going on? I'm Slothic in Nature. I'm playing Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is a gothic and Lovecraftian themed roguelike turn-based RPG game. If I were to describe it in one go, be if Divinity Original Sin 2 had a baby with Rogue Legacy.
The final verdict for is a 1! A 1 out of 10! With a badass seal of approval!
Every level is procedurally generated. It's essentially like Minecraft on an infinite world. Everything is randomized. All the seed stuff is all just random. So you never know what you're gonna get. There is a sanity meter / stress meter. It will afflict your characters in different ways, give them different quirks.
Cementos! His quirk, cement!
Called, which is just negative status effects, debuffs. It's very similar to Rogue Legacy. We're gonna do a new run. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Right here, we have the musketeer. I haven't played with the musketeer yet, so we're gonna try that out. I'm going to play on Darkest, as it's the original settings. This game does have permadeath, so we're gonna get into it.
Corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So when you first load in, this torch here represents where you are on the map. The map can be zoomed in, zoomed out, can be reset by holding RT and pressing A. Luckily, from the very beginning of the game, you can only go like one direction. But you would move right stick, and that would transfer you over to the next zone. Right here, you can see the little golden bar above a person's health. It shows you which character you are currently equipped with, and who is leading the pack, as well as you can switch between characters by hitting the bumpers, left bumper, right bumper. Lineup, you can press X to view a character's entire bio, preferred position, and that basically means the lineup. So he likes to be either in the front or second right here. So right now, Reynold is a Crusader class. We go over here to his so he's a Warrior of Light. He gets plus 10% damage if torch is above 75%. We'll get into that in a second. In town will only pray for stress relief and is prone to stealing things. The torch level is up here. We have the radiant light, which is set to 100. So he gets, we can surprise monsters. We have additional scouting and dodging, as well as this guy does the additional 10% damage because of his and then we have combat skills, which is the regular abilities. These can be upgraded later and equipped. You have to equip and unequip them. Equipped skills are marked with the diamond. Getting different abilities will set which preferred position. This guy can be either second or third in his lineup. That's his preferred position. And if we were to look at the Highwayman, if we were to look at his, he has 15% stun resistance as well as 2 speed. He's a known cheat, so he's not allowed to gamble while in town. And then this guy is God-fearing, so he can only pray for stress relief. The only way to recover sanity is by taking them to stress relievers in the town. So the Crusader can only pray. So this guy isn't allowed to gamble, so he can do every single stress relief. He could pray if he wanted to. He just cannot gamble for stress relief because of his negative quirk. You can get rid of these negative quirks by sending them to the hospital, which will then make them unavailable for a mission. There's base stats, we have equipment. You can upgrade your equipment, like how much base damage you would do, and like how much base health you have and stuff. You can rename them, you can remove them. If you go down to the very bottom, you can actually cycle between the appearances of them. Once you hit the end of the screen, you have to move to continue the game. So the more you move, the more the torchlight goes down, and it goes down over time as well. Okay, so I have a 93% chance to hit with that, or I can try and blast them for 73. So we're going to go ahead and just open vein. It should apply a bleed effect exactly like it did, and also debuffed. And I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the stun, and I missed. I didn't read what the chance was, so that's probably my fault on that one. but it's 93, so you should be did that anyways. So we got food and 50 gold from that. You can view your inventory by hitting down on the D-pad. Food will allow you to regain health, but by a very tiny amount. It's mainly used for camping slash you're exploring. A thing will pop up asking you to feed your whole party, which will cost a certain amount of food. So we got a jade. It's worth 375 gold. So basically, we got 1,375 gold from this. It auto sells any treasures that you get. So 95, or I can try and hit this guy for 88. Or I'm actually gonna switch these guys around, just because the Crusader does more damage.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
Also, if they are not in their preferred position, some of their skills will be locked out. I might lose the Crusader. I don't think I've ever lost him this early. Let's go ahead and stun this guy so he can't have a turn. And then we're gonna try and land this. There we go.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
The interesting thing about this game is whenever you kill someone, they leave behind a corpse, like the game was saying. Now, this can make it harder to hit targets. However, since we killed the guy in the back, it actually makes it easier to hit this guy. So we go ahead and stun him again, just so that way we don't take damage. I forgot that he was actually buffed from the last time I stunned him, but it doesn't actually seem like it'll matter. So I'm going to go ahead and try and end this. That should have landed because it was 85. So we'll go ahead and try and hit him with this. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and remain because we're going to try and open this chest. Oh, I forgot. And then we're going to go ahead and leave. So on that run, this was the tutorial. We made 2,160 from the treasure collected, and then the quest itself gave us 5,000, so we should have around 7,160. Because these guys were injured and their sanity was breaking, they got different quirks. This guy is obsessed with material things, and this guy has minus 100% food consumption if stress is above 50. So he's a stress faster, which is actually good.
Welcome
Which is
home,
why it was a
such as it is.
white quirk.
This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Okay. Yep. So we made 7,000 gold. The stagecoach allows you to get random
All
new
will find their
heroes.
way to us now that the road is clear.
Go ahead and upgrade the size of the roster. And I'm going to save paper on that and
Most
not actually
will end
upgrade
up
it.
here,
The
covered
graveyard,
in
you can
poison
view your
dirt,
dead
awaiting
players.
merciful oblivion.
And then this one allows you to
In
rewatch the
time,
cutscenes.
will the tragic extent of my failings.
These are trinkets, these are
Charms
add-ons.
of the earth.
So I'm gonna go ahead and recruit both these guys.
What better?
So this guy likes to be in the back, either last or second to last, and then she kind of doesn't exactly have a preferred position. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the melee bash. I'm gonna keep her at the back. She's a Vestal, and she basically is like an actually good version of Brigitte from Overwatch. Sort of a battle healer. The Plague Doctor can be sort of a healer, but he's more of a buffer. Go ahead and view his quirks as well as Brigitte's quirks in a second. So the Eldritch will not take part in prayer activity in town after certain traumatic events. So basically all that means is when we're here at the hub world, he will not lose stress anywhere in the Abbey, so you have to take him to the Tavern. Severe fear of enclosed spaces and minus 5% range skill. She has more damage in cove areas. So you can go ahead
Mecca
and
of
embark.
madness.
Forgot to equip them. We're in the back. We're gonna go ahead and launch with right stick. So these are your provisions. You need to buy provisions when you go on these quests. Bare minimum, you want 8 food. And I would say the same with the torches. I would say 8. The game recommends that you launch with 8 food. I disagree and say that you should actually go upwards of 8. Genuinely, you're going to want 1 shovel if you can afford it. If not, go for the anti-venom as well as bandages. You shouldn't really need more than 3 of each. I think early game you can get away with like around 2 for a while. Everything else is more just buffs. This key will allow you to open certain things, and that only happens sometimes. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and go with 14 food for now. You can find torches as well as shovels randomly. Sometimes you can find food as well. However, it's generally better just to bring bare minimum 8 food, 8 torches, and 2 anti-venom and 2 bandages. You can get away without bringing a shovel sometimes, but it does do a lot of negative effects if you don't bring a shovel and you need one. If you don't have a shovel, everyone in your party will lose health, they'll lose sanity. So the knight is our tank. So I'm going to lead the way as him. And we found an unburned torch, like I was saying. Go ahead and light it by pressing Y. Go ahead and hit the guy in the back with poison.
As the
Finish him
theme
off.
falls, a faint hope blossoms. Back to the pit.
So we got a shovel, 4 crests, and 100 gold.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
So that character back here is a debuffer. She will reduce your party sanity. Sanity is very interesting because it can give you negative perks as well as eventually if it reaches 200 it'll give your character a heart attack, which will put them on what the game calls death's door, which is essentially last stand. And if you were to be hit while in last stand, it'll test your death resistance, and if your death resistance isn't good enough or it doesn't pass the fucking vibe check, you will die. Or if it does pass the vibe check, you will just take a hit and not die. I've had a character take 5 hits while in death's door and still not die. So it's up to the game and also RNG. So that's 78% chance to hit, so I probably won't land that ability, but it'll add to the torch light. So it's at 70 right now, and everybody can potentially be stressed. So now it's at 76, we got rid of all those debuffs, the enemy is stunned. I'm gonna go ahead and try and land this to tag everybody. Can't even hit it all, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit her with the plague. Got hit with light. I'm gonna pop this ability. It's probably the best one in the game. In my opinion, that scroll ability is the best one in the game. Musketeer has it. 73 and 83. She still dodged, which is fine. 92. There you go.
Maintain the offensive.
I believe it could eventually play like Pokemon. Keep spamming the amount of abilities, the same ones over and over again. You'll eventually not be able to use it, but only during that fight. So we're gonna go ahead and move right, and then we're gonna head up once we hit the very end of the right, and then go left. So his perk activated, and then he stole these because he's a kleptomaniac. So we don't actually get to keep those rewards, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop another torch. It's at 96. I'm gonna go ahead and buff our Crusader. Try and tag everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and hit this guy with it. It missed, which adds the light anyways. And now that he's buffed, we're gonna hit both those guys. Try and do a grape shot.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
So we go ahead and just clear those, bring him forward. Corpses will clear themselves over time. Sometimes some people will have the ability to just clear corpses. Do enough damage, will clear them.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Ooh, can't go that way. Oop, I didn't even see the trap. So we go ahead and pop a torch before we enter. Okay, so there's a dead end on the right, but a treasure room on the left, and there's a trap on the way to the treasure room. So we're gonna move towards the treasure room, and I'm gonna keep my eye out for the trap. So it looks like there it is. It's glowing red, which means I can attempt to disarm it. Looks like it didn't work.
Trap maker's art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
So we actually got the jump on them, which means that they will not fight back the entire time. If they had the jump on us because our light level was low, it would shuffle around our characters, and then we would play like normal, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and buff Crusader. If it lands, it'll stun him as well as add to the light, which always is fine. Again, if it misses, it'll add to the light anyways, so it's not the worst.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
Go ahead and just clear the corpses out of the way.
A death by inches.
Just because he has slightly more health, we're going to go ahead and investigate. So he's bleeding, and we're going to go ahead and use a bandage to stop the bleeding. I'm going to heal him up with a thing of food. It's weird. Full. We'll head down one. Oh, he did it again. Okay. It sucks because there was a key. So we're going to keep going forward, even though we've already been here. Let me go ahead and zoom out the map so we can see it a little bit better. The reason for that is because you suffer heavy debuffs, lose sanity a lot when you're backtracking. I didn't mean to pop that, but that's fine. So we got 10 food. And we're gonna remain so we can try and clear out the next area. So it looks like there's another treasure room. Oh, and they surprised us because I didn't pop a torch before going through. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly shuffle this real quick. Sucks because we're gonna take a lot of damage from this.
The light, the
Gonna
promise
pop
of
the torch.
safety.
We really want to get rid of that guy with the goblin because the sanity break. But now everyone just takes damage.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
More damage against beasts, more accurate against beasts, plus 10 damage if torch is above 75, plus 20 stress against unholy, and crit from melee skills.
With the cost of this crusade,
So we got the Tavern and
it's
the
no
Abbey,
end
so we can
afford
reduce
you broad
stress.
tolerance in your choice of means.
Got the Joker, as well as the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter kind of sucks in my opinion compared to most people. He's a kleptomaniac and will never drink. It's fine. It's more damage and warned. Then if we get his combat skills, he's got Harvest, which buffs somebody's dodge, but it moves him 3. Then we have another buff, which gives to speed, accuracy, and crit. And it's to himself, or no target, and then minus stress.
You will be laughing still at the end.
Double check her stats real quick. Okay.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
We're gonna go ahead and place her in there to reduce stress. I'm going to check this, see what this is. It just gives blight, so I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. So we kind of made our money back from sitting in there, sort of. Only lost like 200. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here.
The final verdict for is a 1! A 1 out of 10! With a badass seal of approval. There's your review. Now get the out of here.